All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. So glad that you could stick around. And this morning we are discussing one of the most critical shifts in global and, of course, Kenyan tourism, the integration of artificial intelligence across the tourism value chain. We'll be getting into that conversation in detail in the course of this discussion. Our question of the day online, however, tourism numbers are rising, but is the industry creating quality jobs for Kenyans or just opportunities for investors? And this is in line with, of course, the topic of the day, tourism in the age of AI. Are we ready for this shift as Kenyans? And we'll be telling you more about that. As we all know, earlier this year, Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano highlighted efforts to integrate AI, that is artificial intelligence, across tourism services, not only for better marketing and analytics, but also for smarter conservation and visitor experience too. The question here once again is, are we ready as Kenyans for this change? Interact with us on our socials, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube, on X at TV47 Digital, and you can tag me as well at @Ann_Dida. We'll be sure to read your feedback, and if you have any question for our expert in studio this morning, there will be a number on your screen. We'll be happy to also hear from you. Charles Gaku is my guest this morning. He is the CEO Air Travel and Related Studies Center. Right? He's also a tourism expert. Good morning, Charles.
Anne.
Yes. Happy New Year.
I'm back and Happy New Year.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
We're still saying Happy New Year till the end.
Yeah, and improving day by the day.
Right.
Yeah, and keep it up.
Thank you so much. The question we're asking this morning, and I want to pose this question to you,
okay,
to just set the foundation for this conversation.
Okay.
Tourism numbers are rising, but is the industry creating opportunities and quality jobs for Kenyans or just for investors? What do you think?
Okay, it's true, Anne, that tourism numbers are rising. If you look at it, we even have a projection of 5 million tourists by the year 2030.
Yes. As
government policy, which is very much welcome. At the moment, we are 5th or 6th in terms of tourism numbers in Africa. And that trajectory is actually up, and that is very commendable. That's one. Second, and it can be seen. If you go to Westlands today, you're able to see all the international chains that have set up. Talk about Marriott, name everyone is there. Movenpick, everybody's there. Good indications. No doubt that our numbers are realizable and everything is possible, and tourism is looking up, which is kudos to government and any other enabler in the sector to make sure that this one happens. Setting up also tells us that Kenya has shifted from a traditional safari destination, safari beach destination, to a conference destination. Otherwise, you can see that most of these new properties are setting up in the cities. Good. Point is that commensurate with what Kenyans are taking home, those who are working in the industry? Right. That is the most important thing. I joined the industry 32 years ago. From Kenya Utalii College, and I've seen the whole breadth of the industry. Very glamorous when you completed in the 90s. Very few players at that particular time, but now more. But the truth is, salaries and remunerations have not changed that much as I talk to you. As much as we are encouraging and seeing many more players coming up, salaries remain on the average, compared to other sectors that our country, gets through. So there's room for improvement. There's no doubt about it. From the inspectors, from the investors' point of view, of course, I don't have any statistics as to how much they're making, how much they're earning. But the continuation of them setting up here shows you that they're really getting something out of it. My plea would be, can we get better remuneration that encourages the youngsters to join the industry? Where I teach at Air Travel and Related Studies Center, we are very happy that we get internships anytime we want the internships. And kudos to all the players. Half of my students end up getting jobs wherever I take them for the industrial attachment. But to get even more, join the sector anywhere else in the world because our qualifications are international. We went ahead and opened a new company called Aviation and Hospitality Solutions Limited with the aim of taking our students out of the country upon completion. And just to still stay to your question, remuneration out there is much more better.
Outside the country?
Outside the country. Talk about Eastern Europe and so on. Where a starting salary here is 75,000 to 100, of course, depending on who is your employer. If you go out there, it is twice or thrice that much. And even to capital, they offer you free accommodation, they offer you transport if you're staying outside the premises. And of course, they offer you duty meals. So comparatively, as an industry in Kenya, you must do something to be able to encourage and retain the best talent that we can in the industry if we are to thrive and get to the next level. Our numbers are low, 2.5 million, given all the attractions that you're talking about. And by the way, and the jump is 12 for Morocco, then you come to 10. South Africa is at 5, and then us at 2. So the gap is very huge.
We are still lagging behind at position
Being
5.
number 6 is okay, but having only 2.4, while others in the same continent are getting 10 to 12 million, tells you something.
What are they doing better than us?
Let's talk the truth, that wildlife attracts up to just 6.5% of travelers worldwide, wildlife.
Yes.
It's not as glamorous and as lucrative, it's not as glamorous and as popular as we think. Because Morocco, wildlife is minimal. They're selling history, they're selling culture, and so on. They're selling music, and so on, and they're getting 10 million. Paris, not France, Paris itself, as a city, it brings in 75 to 76 million visitors.
Yeah.
That's a city.
The town itself.
The town itself, yeah, Paris, not even France, Paris. So if you look at it, we have to work harder, we have to diversify our product. Beach and wildlife is not enough. We have to get more, and unless you use AI at the moment,
and we'll be getting deeper into AI. So what you're saying is that for Kenya, we are giving wildlife more prominence and maximizing on wildlife, and also just neglecting other forms of tourism.
Wildlife, I must tell you, is a tired product. Tired because it has been there since the days of the big 5, you know,
Yes.
lion, leopard, and so on. That was a colonial tag. People coming to see the big 5, and then they take home a trophy. Oh, I brought down a lion, brought down a leopard, rhino, and so on, and then take it home and you're celebrated. Those days are gone. And the era of trooping into the country to see the big 5, today they're available everywhere, not only in zoos, but you know, you have the advance of the technology, you can be able to see, people know about these things. And the fun and the beauty of coming to see it in a natural habitat, or its natural habitat, that is soon fading away with that old generation of Mr. Charles Gaku's time and our fathers, where it was quite a big deal seeing wildlife. So unless we look for alternative ways off the beaten track, those numbers could be very hard to realize.
What can we tap on, you know, as Kenyans that you see? I know you are an expert in this sector.
Yes.
But from where you sit, the things that you're seeing, that, you know, the beauty that is in this country, what can we also tap in to just maximize on our tourism vein? Okay.
Currently, we're only doing 28% of the country. The Samburu, Amboseli, Masai Mara, Savo West, and Savo East. That circuit is about 28% of the country. We don't talk anymore about the Western circuit, Kakamega, Kisumu, Kericho. There are things to see, Tabaka, soapstones in Kisii. You go up to Lake Turkana. It's like you've forgotten about Lake Turkana and so on. The Rift Valley, the lakes. Turkana is not so much featured these days. Baringo is not so much featured these days, and Bogori as well. Culture of the people. So when you talk about culture, we say Maasai, Samburu, the Mas-speaking communities. But you have 42 of us, 44 different communities. If each of them could you know, showcase what it is that they have to offer, this country will be very far. Bomas of Kenya used to do a lot. It's close at the moment. I think they're doing renovations. But it is not really what the modern tourist is looking for. They want to integrate with the communities right at the base, not in a setting where you know, the person who plays the Luo song is the same one who comes back does the Borana or the Somali, comes back and does the Kikuyu dance, comes back and does the Kamba mime and so on. Now,
I want us to go back to a question of the day, just
Yes.
in a few to maximize on that as well.
Okay.
Is the industry creating quality jobs for Kenyans or just opportunities for investors? You said that right now salaries are still, stagnant from
Yes.
back in the days up
Yes.
until now.
Yes.
There's no proper remuneration.
Okay.
Then whose responsibility is it to ensure that even as you are bringing in a new team into the job market, that they're not just getting that standard salaries that were there back in the day, now that the industry is also improving and all that?
We don't realize the lack that we have. A premium institution like Kenya Utalii College, where I studied, before I started my own air travel and related study center, I remember when I was Utalii, we were like 40 nationalities represented. The whole of Southern Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho, Swaziland, all that, come up to Rwanda, Burundi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and all that, were all represented, including Seychelles, Mauritius, and so on. It was a huge place. So it is possible to say that Kenya Utalii College is a premier destination, is a premier training facility for Africa. And then, of course, after that, more private institutions have, come up like mine. Why training? If training is according to international standards, like where I work, we have two international examination bodies, International Air Transport Association, which is IATA, based in Montreal and Canada, and ICM, based in the UK. Meaning that training is okay, and remuneration then should be in tandem with what it is, that the output that you're making when you're working for an institution. Sometimes the hotels chains they actually set up how much they pay. But that is not across the board in other parts of the world. I don't think we have a forum or a platform that we get to negotiate well enough, because I'm sure they can be able to pay more. But I think when they come, they copy industry standards, and then they pay according to that particular standard. Maybe our associations, Kenya Association of Travel Agents, Association of Tour Operators, housekeepers, and so on. Our own Kudeha, which is, in charge of staff working in the industry, hospitality, travel, and tourism, could step in so that whatever we're getting is actually according to the input. It is very expensive to train in travel and tourism and hospitality. And it takes quite long for us to recover whatever it is that we have plowed in for the training. And that's why, if you go to any airline of the world, Qatar, Etihad, Emirates, you'll find Kenyans working there. Countries like Nigeria and Ghana, you have Kenyans are the ones who are pioneering hospitality institutions in those countries. They are getting out of the country. That brain drain is because there's greener pasture out there. And if you can be able to match that, I am sure that many of them will be willing to stay. That's why it should be headed. That's the direction.
I'm sure not all Kenyans can afford and be able, of course, to go abroad.
Yes.
You're saying the industry, a lot of you are producing, skills.
Yes.
Who get chances abroad, but what's the catch? Even as you continue to enroll these students, they know so well that in the country, there's no, enough opportunities for them, salary is not that good. Then why do they keep on enrolling, knowing very well that not all of them will get a chance to travel?
At least not in Kenya.
Yes.
In Kenya, like elsewhere, the tourism industry attracts those who are below 35. 75% of the workforce, as I talk to you now, is below 35 in our industry. And there's this, urge among school leavers, like the ones I go to give career talks to, talking about careers in travel and tourism. They love it because it's also a door towards working globally, which is a very important thing. And that is what we do all the time. I am not afraid of training more and thousands of students in the industry because, one, the qualification is international, and two, I have this now new setup that I'm talking to you about, Aviation and Hospitality Solutions Limited, that takes students to work all over the world. The beauty of it is I'm being asked for more and more to go and work elsewhere. I had Serbia before in Eastern Europe. Now I can hear interest from Greece, getting Canada, getting Australia and New Zealand coming on board. That means it is a reverse. In Europe, The truth is that the older population is actually at the 66, 67%, the opposite of what is happening in Africa. They'll continue to require fresh human resource for hospitality among other industries. So there's a need for training, not only for the Kenyan market, but for any other part of the world. Remember that some countries are known worldwide to export labor in terms of hospitality, like Spain. I'm sorry, like Philippines, very good. They're doing very well. I think they have quite made a difference in their foreign exchange earnings just by diaspora training and diaspora working in the diaspora. And Kenya should emulate. I don't believe that if 35, between 18 and 35, we're about 75%. Kenya, that's about 45 million. I don't believe that it is possible to create some 10 million jobs every year in this country, not at the current situation. So let them go out, let them sit for international qualifications, get out of the country and grab those jobs. Bring back remittances that will be able to assist our country to grow.
All right, Charles, the government is pushing for AI-driven tourism systems.
Yes.
Sometime last week on the 5th, of course, the Tourism Cabinet Secretary stamped her feet on this. She is aiming for the country to just maximize on how we can market tourism and just converse, well.
Yes.
And conservation, visitor-wise, everything around AI and tourism.
Yes.
Are we ready as a country to tap on this?
Our able Cabinet Secretary, Rebecca Miano, I know, she was in Dubai on the 5th of December. It was all over. It was a summit. Governing summit that was taking place there, and I'm happy that we made the first step. The first step towards integrating our training and integrating our tourism, for that matter, to AI. Here is the truth. AI is what was the internet 20 years ago, where we were confused, we did not know what to do, and this is now what AI is. And AI has made strides that we have to move along with. If the giant, for example, the giant booking companies, Expedia, Booking.com and so on, are even tapping into AI for more efficiency, I think we don't have a choice, Anne. We have to get into AI and get to AI in 2 feet. I'm happy when I go to Westland sometimes, and I can see 1 or 2 restaurants that have robots in them, where you can get served by a robot and so on and so on. It shows that these establishments, for example, are ahead of government in terms of ensuring that AI has found or finds its place in the country and so on. Now, how will it help us? Is it going to take away our jobs so that whoever it is that you are training now will be afraid of training because things are being taken over by jobs? The internet did not take away jobs, if you remember. So it is complementary to what it is that humans can do. It's going to improve the efficiency, no doubt. It is going to improve the speed at which we do bookings. Remember, traditionally, for somebody searching to do a safari or prepare for a safari in Kenya, they start 5 weeks. Within 5 weeks of their preparation to get into the safari, they visit up to 277 websites to get to know the best deals, who is offering what it is, and so on and so forth. AI can bring that to your fingertips in a matter of seconds. So that is the first thing: efficiency, fast, saving your time, and actually, I must say, AI is very accurate. So it is something that we need to embrace. For tour operators in Kenya, and the airlines. And airlines were at the forefront in providing something close to AI services a long time ago. Because when it comes to bookings, like when I joined the industry, I remember booking was all manual. Then they came up with booking tools like Amadeus, Galileo, Sebo, and so on, Apollo, Outspan, very close. But now it is even closer. The industry should view AI as complementary, not coming to take over the travel consultants and the tour companies, travel consultants and ticketing staff and fare quotation staff.
AI does ticketing as well?
It can do ticketing. You can direct. You just feed in your itinerary what it is that you want. I want to travel from Nairobi to London, London to to Zurich, Zurich to Montreal. It will give you itineraries and options.
But we've seen cases where AI has been doubted, when we talk about accuracy.
Yes.
Sometimes it can be inaccurate. Then if somebody can take that risk to book a ticket,
yes.
to using AI, then how sure are they that whatever they're doing they're safe with it?
It's even further than that. Before I get to that, AI is not as inaccurate as what you can read on the website. It is much more misleading in many websites. So if the booking.coms and so on and the CBTs that I'm talking to you about are tapping into AI, it means that it has something to offer. Very soon, I hear in the next 1 or 2 years coming, we are going to talk about, and this is AI, we're going to talk about passenger aircrafts carrying passengers that do not have a pilot in them. So can you imagine that? It is already going to be happening. In 2 years, it's being tried elsewhere. Of course, not on a commercial basis.
It means it's taking somebody else's job.
Yes, it is. But what about all these guys who are making sure that it happens? These are getting jobs in other different areas. So it is actually, the situation is fluid in the sense that where a job is taken away by AI here, a few more jobs are created. It is the same thing that happened during the era of the internet. We thought that things are not going to happen, and they're happening. For me, it's a good thing. We need to get prepared, we need to get ready, and we need to incorporate this also in the syllabus. I'm happy with our examiners, namely IATA. They are very apt, they are very up-to-date. They ensure that whatever it is that is happening all over the world is incorporated. Gone are the days where we used to have people packing their bags, going wherever it is going without a single reason as to why they're going. Today, people are grouping themselves into what are the special interests that we have. We love shopping. We are going out as singles, we're going out as religious groups, we're going out as mature travelers, those who have a pension. We are going out as could be museum enthusiasts and so on. But again, even if there are people who love wildlife, AI again is subdividing these wildlife lovers into different aspects. How long is the experience that you have? What is your age? And so on. So that whatever the itinerary is made by such programs as Mind Trips, it is suiting you as a person, not as a group. So yes, all of you are wildlife enthusiasts, but what is your experience? What are you interested in? Is it the big five? Are you keen on the birds? Are you keen on culture? And so on. So AI will segment that for us, and in the process, we're even going to get more tourists because now it can be able to be unraveled. I can be able to check that for me as yes, I love wildlife, but much more specifically, bird watching. Much more specifically, I want to watch this alone, not in a group of more than 5, and so on. Much more specifically, I love water birds. Much more, I like wildlife birds. So it gets deeper to the extent that we more or less categorize ourselves in further, and that is more business for us.
Are we ready for that?
It is a starting point, the 5th of February, when Madam Rebecca said, we are on and you're going on. What we should do as a first step is to empower KTB, Kenya Tourism Board, the body that is based, which is mandated to market tourism in the country. It's a huge responsibility that they have in their shoulders. I hope they can do more research, they can get more experts so that we get it right. Don't forget that we are not in the wildlife business or tourism industry alone. We have powerful neighbors. I must say, and this might not be AI, but are you aware that Tanzania, who is our next competitor, they got 2.4 million tourists, we got 2.5. And for them, they've been closing the gap. Are you aware that they have a channel dedicated to wildlife tourism alone, to Tanzanian tourism alone, that is 24 hours? That could be a starting point. Might not be AI, that could be a starting point for Kenya. We need to move further. We need to move faster. And the generation that we are tapping into is AI savvy. So we are looking at younger, those that can have a direct impact. And many of the middle class in Kenya now have disposable income. They can be able to do it. So advice to me from KTB is that as we have this, as we roll this AI, let us target on that middle level. And the lower, the younger traveler between 21 and 30 or 35 who has the money resources and is an AI savvy, because that is the way to go.
All right. I want us to take a look at some of the feedback that we have received so far from the question of the day that we're asking this morning. Once again, tourism numbers are rising, but is the industry creating quality jobs for Kenyans or just opportunities for investors? That is our question of the day. Caprice Lightbringer, he says, I believe in investments creating jobs, not exactly sectors. Tourism as a sector can only create sustainable income generation only if people are willing to invest in it. Investment requires a supportive and encouraging business environment. The government is not doing enough to create this environment through its business and taxation policies. This, I believe, is a crucial step in creating and increasing investment-based cash flow that's resulting in more employment opportunities. Thank you so much, Caprice, for that. Maina Mushiri, investors are walking, clapping their hands. I wouldn't say no jobs are being created per se, but investors seem to benefit more. Austin Wambingwa, a lot of jobs are being created in the tourism sector. I think we should create some time. We anataka akuje tuongee mambo ya hoteli. You're welcome, Austin Wambingwa. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation as well. So, you know, they're saying that investors are winning more, but does that really pose a threat to the tourism sector in Kenya? If, of course, there's an increase in how the sector is doing, but it doesn't really translate to the workforce, right?
The first one is very interesting. Investors are laughing all the way to the bank.
Yes.
And they've done that for a long time. Whether they are traditional investors or whether they are local or domestic investors or international investors. I don't want to say that they are underpaying because we have a minimum wage in this country. But what I'm saying is that this could be improved. No doubt about it. The other one on taxes.
Yes.
You know, I have always advocated for startups in the industry. Some rebates regarding construction material, whatever it is that we're importing, to put up whatever premises that is that we're putting in or whatever establishment you're putting in, that can go a long way. I've known in other countries that they give you a tax relief for a few years, 2 or 3. Mauritius does it, Seychelles does it. I'm also sure that they do something similar to that in Tanzania and especially in Zanzibar. Those are things that they do. If you could, I know we need the money, but it is proven that for every $1 that we plow into tourism, we reap $21, which is quite a huge chunk to reap in. So encourage more investment in the country, but think about the taxes and reliefs because that could help us. Even more interesting, tourism does more than that. It opens up other areas like, upgrade our healthcare standards. We upgrade our road networks and so on. And in general, the entire standard of living in the country. It's quite helpful that you take tourism seriously. I'm happy that one of those who wrote said, yes, more and more jobs continue to be created. There's no doubt about it. But at what expense?
Right.
Sometimes, let's not look at the numbers. That 2.4 is what we need. How much are they leaving behind also? We have examples of countries like Spain and Greece, whose tourism economy is almost collapsed, despite the numbers. Because here you get people who are coming on back trucks. They leave very little back at home. And the numbers are not as important as what it is that they're leaving behind. Tanzania, our neighbors here, and I must keep on mentioning them because we compete with them all the time.
Right.
They more or less have a higher quality tourism. And they charge more than we do. The mass market in our country is a huge chunk compared to, the other type of tourism, which is much more niche and so on. I think a balance is needed between the mass and the niche tourism because If you go talk about numbers all the time, hardly do we talk about how much these clients are leaving behind. And that is not very helpful. Look at Rwanda. It is possible that Rwanda is making much more. It's $1,500 to get a gorilla permit for 6 hours in Rwanda. We are charging in most of our parks $120, actually $100 per 24 hours. Compare that. 6 hours, $1,500 for Rwanda, 24 hours, $100 for Kenya. Numbers are not always what we should be running after.
Do we stand a chance to get at the very top? You see, to our African counterparts, you mentioned Tanzania a lot, that they're trying to bridge the 2.4 million gap.
With 100,000 to go.
Right. Do you see us, getting to the top?
It is possible for us. Our only threat should be South Africa because the large is bigger, they have a bigger size. Their parks are more or less iconic in the sense that they've been on for long. And it's a very interesting feature that tourism, countries that got their independence last, actually the African ones, whose mainstay is wildlife, they continue sustaining their numbers. 5 million in South Africa and so on. That should be our only threat because of land size and where they're coming from. If we diversify our product, it is possible to reach the 5 million that you're talking about by 2030, but not through wildlife and beach safaris. It will not happen.
We are losing focus.
We are losing focus.
But does this industry, have unions and people who can champion for just betterment of the tourism industry in general? A lot of sectors, say the medical sector, teaching sector,
yes,
everybody has unions, but
yes,
the tourism sector, do you guys have unions?
We do have unions. Kudaiha is one of them. We have our own association of travel agents, association of hotel keepers, association of tour operators, many others that are there. But it's one thing to champion, and actually one more thing to get what it is that you want. We've been fighting over little things that you could have done away with a long time ago. Last year, our growth in numbers was actually hampered by what happened in the Masai Mara, where we doubled park fees from $100 to $200 and gave 3-month notice only. And then we brought down that payment of $200 to last for 12 hours from 24 hours. That was a shot, that was a shot in our own foot. And that is why Tanzania got closer to us than it would have happened if we'd maintained quite some reasonable entry fee for the Mara. Because a client to calculate, if I'm paying $200 a night per person for accommodation, for park fees, and my accommodation is perhaps $200, it means that for every one night that I'm spending in the Mara, I'm paying double in terms of park fees. And when they calculate that and they see, it is $70 in Tanzania, Serengeti. Actually, I think it's $100 in Ngorongoro now. So they look at it, they moved elsewhere. That's why last year, Masai Mara got almost caught up by Amboseli. Amboseli is at the border with Tanzania, so just get to Namanga and they get in, they get out. They were almost caught up by Amboseli because clients prefer to do a night in Kenya, which they love very much, and the rest of their stay in Tanzania, which is cheaper. We shoot ourselves in the foot many times. It is high time that harmonize park fees, both for national parks and national reserves, so that whoever is coming in knows what is expected of them. And we don't give enough time for operators to absorb that shock. Clients pay us as operators 6 to 1 year in advance. That means that when you come and tell me that park fee has gone up and it's 3 months from the time of arrival of a client, I cannot go back to my client and say, you need to top up this. They'll go elsewhere. So we need to be very careful about how we implement policies, not just in tourism, but in other sectors.
That's also detrimental to domestic tourism, right?
Yes, and you get a bad name, and you lose trust and confidence, and not just among the tourists, but also operators and agents who supply you business into the country. And that is not quite right.
All right, and we're tying this conversation to the goal by the Ministry of Tourism to just incorporate AI in the sector to promote it. But you mentioned that Kenya, we should position ourselves to accommodate AI in
Yes.
tourism sector. But I'm wondering some of the global AI trends that you have, maybe encountered, that you feel like even as we continue to talk AI, we're not just talking about it, but now we are talking implementation. The trends that you're seeing globally that Kenyans are yet to tap into.
Global trends are there. I was in Dubai the other day. No one stamps your passport anymore. Just look at the face on a screen. They're able to capture all your data, and there you are. You leave the immigration and go, wherever it is that you're going. That's a very short process. I was going through Sharjah Airport, and within 5-10 minutes, I was out of the airport. That is not happening in Jomo Kenyatta. It is not happening at all. And many more. If you go to the restaurants that, I went to in that part of the world, in Dubai. I was at the Dubai Marina, I was there over New Year's. And menus, everything is on AI. Self-service is faster, menu selection is faster, it's much more accurate, and that is what people are looking for, because they don't have time don't have a lot of time to take regarding selecting. They know whatever exactly they want. And as much as you could say, oh, waiters are going to be jobless, no. They're going to shift to other departments or other areas and still work in the industry. It's a huge industry.
Let's talk about tourism SMEs.
Yes.
That is, the travel agencies fall under that category.
Yes.
But how well equipped are they to access and implement AI tools?
More equipped than the hotels. They are more equipped than the hotels because, as I said, I decided off this thing a long time ago. We are lucky that we have an association of all the airlines of the world called International Air Transport Association. And then on top of, below it, we have the national associations like now the Kenya Association of Travel Agents, and under that you have the travel agents. And most of the directions come from IATA. And being a global body, IATA is so keen to unify whatever is happening all over the world. Because when you buy a ticket, Nairobi, to Dubai, to Hong Kong and Singapore, and then ending up in Tokyo, a traveler actually expects the same service across the board. So IATA is so keen to ensure that whatever it is seamless and it is of the same standards. So that has been in our DNA as tour operators for longer than it has been in the hotels. I realize the hotel industry is much more manual, especially in the kitchen and so on. But reception, for example, where guests are checking in, could be faster and even more efficient if AI was implemented there. Too slow to get there, but I think it is not too late. Something that you have to live with.
Domestic tourism is something that sometimes we quite undervalue when we talk in tourism, because sometimes we just look at it from the international lens, talking about people coming into Kenya to tour Kenya.
Yes.
But if we talk about AI, do you think Kenyans can meaningfully tap into it to promote domestic tourism, as opposed to how international tourists tap into AI? Of course, they're planning their itinerary, what to see in Kenya, what to do in Kenya through AI. But how can we also do that domestically using AI?
We must thank, first of all, the domestic tourism in Kenya. Because during COVID, they're the ones that kept us afloat. When you're almost shutting down, I think that's where domestic tourism took preeminence. We started seeing domestic tourism in many fronts. These days, we have, if you've been keen to see adverts that KTB, Kenya Tourist Board, is running, you'll be able to see that those are the least traveled areas, what you call the off-beaten track areas. And if you look at the players in those adverts, these are youngsters. I must confess that in most of those, at least a quarter of those destinations, I did not even have an idea that they happened. Look at the power of AI. Look at the power of communication. Look at the power of the youth. Today, I don't think there's any youth above 18 who does not have a smartphone. They're able to do lots of things with it. And I must emphasize that if you are to look at AI seriously, let us start with the youth. And they are set, ready. I interact with my students all the time. I had a trip with them to Amboseli over the weekend. The tour guides, because I teach tour guides, I teach cabin crew, I teach travel and tourism staff, hotel managers, and cargo, as well as chefs. And the kind of you know, the kind of things that they are creating as feedback on the trip. If that could be posted, it can be taken over and can go all over the world. And that is a serious function of what AI can do. They are playing around with, you know, the destination and whatever it is that they saw, creating something that is so memorable that at our age, and I don't think we'll be able to do that, or we had a chance to do that during our time.
So then how do we ensure that even as we tap into AI, that it doesn't further marginalize these rural, cultural, diverse tourism communities, say like communities in the Masai Mara? So how do you ensure that they're not further marginalized? As it stands, they're marginalized, they feel like they're not well compensated.
Community participation is key.
Yeah.
And as we talk about AI, as government thinks about it, there must be a, you know, a balance between conservation and economic activities. These are host communities for our wildlife. And if you ever wondered how come most of our national parks and national reserves are found in the Ma-speaking people, meaning Samburu and Maasai, it's because Maasais naturally do not eat wildlife. So for them, they are natural conservationists. That is very important for people to know. It follows, therefore, then these benefits must accrue to them first and foremost. Effort must be made to ensure that the destination remains intact. Efforts must be made to ensure that the park keeps the rules. Efforts should be made to ensure that the wildlife and human conflict is eradicated by ensuring that you can collar the wildlife. So that using AI, you can be able to know where these predators are at any given time, and then give that information systematically to the host community so that they live in harmony, because we need that wildlife so badly. You'd be surprised to learn that 70% of our tourists that get to the country for wildlife, forget about beach, for wildlife, they must go to the Mara, Maasai area, Amboseli, another Maasai area, and so on and so forth. They must be integrated. Our policy makers, as we talk about AI, should also be at the forefront to ensure that the AI trickles down to conservation areas as remote as they are in our national parks and national reserves, so that they accrue the benefits. At the moment, I know that they get loyalties and so on from lodges and so on, but AI now can even enhance more accountability to ensure that they get what is rightfully theirs in terms of hosting wildlife for generations of people who come to see and watch wildlife from all over the world.
So what are the risks of AI adoption, even as we talk about AI in general?
First of all, we must agree that we are here to live with AI, just like the internet. Far from what you think that's going to be replacing jobs. Personally, I don't believe so, because we were worried about when computers came and the internet came over. But jobs will simply shift to other particular areas. I don't envisage any dangers in AI, apart from the fact that it's become very difficult now. There's a very thin line to tell what is true and what is AI generated.
Right.
You have to live with it, and it's for us to be discerning enough to know what it is and what is not. And if you could practice much more professionalism, we practice, professional, I must say, if you could be more professional, then it is going to work 1,000 times better than what the internet did for us for generations to come.
That point on it's quite difficult to tell what is real and what is not.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on creating AI promos to promote, say, a country or wildlife, as opposed to just going there and taking real videos? What are your thoughts on that? Because AI, you're saying, it's good. It can create an illusion that this is how the Mara looks like. This is how, say, Amboseli looks like.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
As long as it's not overly exaggerated, I go for it. I mean, it is here with us. And the discerning eye can be able to tell the difference. And we should not be so lured into AI to the extent that you forget about checking the natural facts about that advert or that promo that you're looking at. That could tell the difference. And I think by now, as time moves on, we'll be able to tell the difference between what is real and what is AI generated.
Say, let's give it about 5 years, because you're working 2025, 2030.
Yes.
What would real success look like in the tourism sector with AI incorporation?
To get there, we need to internalize AI into policy. First of all, we need to understand that lawmakers must have AI also on board. Don't forget that the host communities are very important. They should be the first to benefit from this particular, this particular innovation, what is innovation in our country. If you have to get numbers, AI has advanced in other parts of the world. Moment we show other kinds that we are doing AI and we integrate AI services and facilities, platforms with other parts of the world, that number is realizable. But speed is there. Time is not on our side. Others, when I look at Tanzania and Mauritius, they are far ahead. Rwanda, our neighbor here, is also far ahead in the pace at which we are rolling out the AI facility. So time is not on our side. I'm happy that we made a start on the 5th of February, which is it a week ago. That should be accelerated. KTB should be on board so that they are able to move as fast as they can to catch up with the rest of the world.
Looks like you do love Mauritius quite a lot.
Yes, very nice, very natural, but expensive.
All right, let's get more feedback
Yes.
from our question of the day once again.
Okay.
Tourism numbers are rising, but is the industry creating quality jobs for Kenyans or just opportunities for investors? Let's have them. Kalen Karimi, opportunity for investors, jobs, no. Anthony Musioki, tourism numbers are up, but if Kenyans only get low-paid jobs while profits go elsewhere, that's not real growth. Numbers must translate into decent jobs.
That's what we agreed.
Right.
Yes.
Anyika Muchesia is saying the higher the demand means the industry generally is improving, and it can only translate to higher demand of labor across all levels, from specialized skills to manual labor. Thus, I believe it has the potential for quality employment. So there's higher demand for labor, but the pay still remains stagnant. Yes,
and that last line is very important. And that is very positive. I believe it has a potential for quality employment.
What does quality employment mean if salaries are not quite good?
Good remuneration, and that is what you should be aiming at. Good remuneration, good standards of work. It has been reported in many aspects that the industry is quite overworked. The staff are quite overworked. There's no doubt about it. Poor remuneration. We have seen the negative as well as the positive sides, but key, remuneration. Second key, the environment at which we are working. That includes working hours and so on. But look at the first one. Opportunity for investors, yes.
Jobs.
Jobs, no. Jobs will not be able to, no. There must be jobs for investors also to benefit. I think should address the quality of what it is that our clients, our Kenyans are getting.
All right.
Yes.
So, Geku, what are you teaching your students about AI as we wind up this conversation and final point?
Luckily, our syllabus from IATA and ICM, the two bodies I've talked about, has it already integrated in the training system. So if you come and see our institution, first thing that you must do when you join a school, you must come in a laptop. From there on, follow the syllabus so that AI is integrated. When you go for the industrial attachment, you have what it takes to deal with whatever AI aspects are there during your internships, which actually we guarantee. One of the few institutions that guarantee industrial attachment, because with 32 years of training, I have more than I need in terms of industrial attachment, where 84% of our students don't come back. They get jobs when they go for the industrial attachment. And now the aspect of taking the students out of the country for employment in Serbia and other parts of the world stamps the fact that international qualifications with AI integrated is the key. If our students, Kenyans in this case, have to benefit from tourism and what AI brings along with tourism.
The government is pushing for AI-driven tourism systems. Are we ready? Well, not quite, but we need to.
We made a start.
We made a start. That is Charles Geku, tourism expert and CEO, Air Travel and Related Studies Center, speaking to us about this very pertinent issue at hand. And the question of the day still remains, tourism numbers are rising, but is the industry creating quality jobs for Kenyans or just opportunities for investors? Of course, we continue this conversation on our socials, TV47 Kenya, on Facebook and on YouTube, on X at TV47 Digital. And when you do, you can tag me at @Ann_Odida. We'll be sure to sample your feedback for future conversations. My name is Ann Odida. You're watching Morning Cafe. Good morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ann. Have a good day.
Have a good one.
Thank you.